and the ability to win and make championships happen in the Super Quick Series was something that was undeniable for the 2019 season. As your 2019 Super Quick Series champion had already secured the position prior to the final event at Lucas Oil Raceway, and with 2 event wins, known as Mr. Sunday, because literally on the Sunday double-up races, that car would be in the final. Simple as that. What can you say other than wow, an impressive season for our champion, second generation JEGS Super Quick champion. Please welcome to the stage your 2019 JEGS Super Quick Series champion from Philpott, Kentucky, Mr. Jay Oakley.
Congratulations, sir. Appreciate it. I'm going to try to make this as painless as possible for all of us. So 2019 was truly a dream come true for me. We didn't even start building an engine for this car until the Sunday before Gateway race. We pulled it off the dyno on Wednesday night, finished the car at 11 o'clock on Friday night, rolled into Gateway at about 2 o'clock, and found ourselves in the final on the first day. That was truly heartbreaking for me to get so close to my first Wally and not get it, but I think that put the fire in me to come back and win the next day, and that was truly a weekend I'll never forget. I've wanted to win this championship for a long time. In 2003, I was in the winner's circle with my dad when he won this championship, and as a little kid, you're always wanting to do something that your dad does, and to win it now, it's unexplainable. I don't want to stand here and bore you all to death, but I got a lot of people I need to thank. First of all, my parents. They take me anywhere I need to go race and provide me with all the stuff I need to win. My mom's always making sure we got everything we need in the RV and ready to go. My dad, when me and my dad go race together, there's nobody else I put my money on. We talk before every round, always have a game plan, and usually if we stick to it, we can make it happen. I guess I kind of need to thank my dad for something else too. I was sitting at home on this night last year, and I got a FaceTime call from my dad and a girl, and he told me that I was taking this girl out on a date next weekend, and I thought, well, yeah, I'll take her out on a date, you know, good-looking girl. And little did I know that how much that girl would change my life, and this wasn't supposed to be like this. She goes racing with me every weekend, and I can always count on her. She wants to win just as much as I do. So, Allie, thank you, and I love you. I also need to thank Allie's family. They've been there for me the whole time this year, whether it comes to borrowing a screwdriver or feeding me at the racetrack or giving me a place to sleep. Ken, Shannon, David, Ashley, Victor. Victor saved my life at Bowling Green. My shock bolt was about to fall out, and he pointed it out for me, so I really need to thank him for that. Need to thank my sister for coming tonight. Her and her husband were sick, and they made sure to make it up here and support me, and she's always supported me all year. I got a lot of sponsors I need to thank, too, that helped me get to the racetrack. First of all, Texas Roadhouse. They've been with Oakley Motorsports for going on 20 years. They started sponsoring my dad in, I believe, 2001. And I think that says a lot about him and Texas Roadhouse both to keep a relationship going that long. PBM, World, Urson. Paula has not only done so much for our shop and our business, but my race team, and I couldn't do without them. Joey and John Kyle at Advanced Product Design for providing us with the best fuel system they can. Diamond Pistons, Trim Performance Products, Profiler Performance Cylinder Heads. Marco Abruzzi for providing us with the best transmissions and torque converters. Need to say thanks to Brooke at Callie's Performance. I called him about 3 weeks before our race at Gateway, and he told me that crankshafts were 4 weeks out. And I told him I needed it in 2 weeks to make the first race, and he made it happen for me. So I need to say special thanks to him. Manly Performance Products, Scott Hall at Moroso, and also all the guys back at the shop at Oakley Motorsports for taking care of things while we're gone. I want to say a special thanks to Kenny and Jennifer, Danny, Will, Joe, all the guys that go to the Super Quick races, the NHRA, for providing us with a fun place to race. Hugh for always giving us a smile in the staging lanes. And the Coughlin family for the support for the Super Quick Series. I'm as excited as I've ever been to go racing next year. We got our 2020 Miller Dragster on the way, and hope to see everybody there, and good luck. Have a good night.
For 2020, once again, we haven't got it locked in, but I guarantee it's locked in for years to come. But I want to thank the Coughlin family for the continued support as we're going to be looking forward to a great 2020. I think there's a lot of stuff on the horizon for the Jegs family, the Coughlin family, everyone that's involved. So I don't think we could ask for anything more than a great 2020 season that's going to be coming up. At this time, we'd like to recognize the men and women behind the scenes that do the most tireless effort of any for one of the most tireless efforts for many reasons. They're the reason of the success for the North Central Division events. Everyone that is part of the team puts in the countless hours, days, weeks, whatever the case may be, year in and year out. I cannot thank each and every one of you enough for all you do. At this time, I would like my entire division team to please stand and be recognized and join me with a round of applause for the hardest working men and women of this North Central Division. And of course, couldn't be remiss without thanking the folks that are part of making everything happen that you see here tonight. As each and every North Central Division, it takes a team to make things happen. And behind the scenes, week in and week out, I'm supported by 3 of the most talented individuals. 2 of those individuals deal with me on a daily basis. The other one, he'll call in wisely from the other state, so it makes things a little bit easier. To say that one is more important than the other wouldn't be fair, because each and every one of them is important. Each brings a level of sanity to my crazy world of the way I look at things and my extreme OCD, if you couldn't tell. It may be a late night text about an upcoming event, a concern of a social media post, last minute license entry, or most importantly, general support that ensures I'm leading the division in the correct way. But our Division Services Coordinator, Kenny Labansky, Administrative Assistant, Nisa Jones, and Division Tech Director, Joe Leese, always guide me to the way. Together, these individuals keep me moving as well as everyone else reaching our goals. Please join me in a round of applause, as I'd like to thank them for all their hard work and tireless efforts. Coming up next will be our next award, something that is definitely unique. It was actually introduced in 2017. This award represents the North Central Division in the sport of drag racing and will be presented to a North Central Division track member, employee, official, or certification team member. We had someone special who wanted to be here tonight to present the award but could not be here. So he sent along his words to introduce this honoree. To the North Central Division, land of the winners. I wish I could be there to shake each and every person's hand here this evening. I wish even more I could be there to introduce the 2019 Leo Tower Award recipient. This person is a shining example of what an announcer should be. He's informed, dedicated, loyal, and undying passion for the sport of which we all love. He strives to keep NHRA founder Wally Park's mandate to keep the Track Announcers Guild a viable organization, an NHRA member track to provide professional announcing at local and divisional events. Because of his efforts since 1984 as a director for the Track Announcer Guild, announcing has improved in the areas of the sport and business. Track owners and operators shouldn't miss the chance to talk with this man and see how they can improve their first line of offense, your announcer. Congratulations, Dennis Weininger, on a well-deserved award, and thank you for being the man you are to your family. Please join me in honoring Mr. Dennis Weininger, this year's recipient of the Leotard Memorial Award, to the stage.
Well, thanks, William. Appreciate this. Holy cow. So that's what the picture was for. William came into our meeting this morning. He's taking the camera and getting closer and closer, closer, closer. Jeez, what's he doing? Oh, anyway, thank you so much. Think back when I first met Leo at, I believe it was the second season final at Bowling Green, Kentucky. Met Leo, and then after that it was national events and division events, and Leo introduced me to so many people of the racing family. And it was tough to see him go, but he had a good life. Thank you so much.
Before I start handing the mic off, and I'm sitting here pondering. I made a mistake earlier, and I'm going, do I fix it now? Do I wait? But I'm going to go ahead and fix it. Back earlier, we were talking about our sponsors that make things happen around here. There was one vital one that I forgot. As Greg from FTI sitting right here in front of me, as I was looking over everything, I owe you an apology. Number one, for missing over on the list, because I actually wrote a post-it, because you weren't on my original script. But sir, I appreciate everything you do for the North Central Division, what you do for the NHRA, and what you do for everyone around here. Looking forward to a great future with the company now in the hands of Paul Lee and everything that he's going to be doing with the sport. But thank you for supporting sportsman racing. Thank you for supporting the Lucas Oil Series and the NHRA. Let's give him a round of applause. At this time, I'd like to welcome Ned Walliser to the stage, as he is your NHRA Vice President of Competition. He's got a few words to share with you this evening. Ned, come on up.
Thank you, William. It gives me great pleasure to stand here tonight amongst the land of the winners and represent the staff, the executive staff, and the board of directors at NHRA. Tonight is about honoring the 2019 North Central Division champions. We're excited for you and your accomplishments this past season. This year marks the 18th year for the Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series and the 20th year for Summit Racing Equipment's ET Bracket Series involvement here in NHRA Championship Drag Racing. We are truly grateful and want to thank Lucas Oil, Summit, the Coughlin family, JAG's Super Quick Series here in Division 3, and each division sponsor for their support of sportsman racing in the NHRA. I feel it's important we do it once again. Let's give them a great round of applause. The sponsors are what gets it done. None of this would be possible without a strong member track network throughout the North Central Division. We realize that each track takes great pride in sharing our passion for the sport by investing countless hours and preserve the right to race and provide a place for quality competition where champions are born. Let us give our member tracks a round of applause one more time. I want to acknowledge William and the division staff, the event staff for their countless hours and efforts. Without them, none of this would be possible. And I want to personally thank each and every one of these individuals for their dedication, the hard work, and diligent efforts that you have put forth throughout the entire 2019 season. Thanks again, staff. Awesome job. Lastly, at the core of tonight's celebration, I want to recognize the racers. For tonight, it's all about you and your accomplishments these past 12 months. We understand all the work that goes into competing, and we deeply appreciate your participation throughout the year and the countless miles traveled across the North Central Division. We know it takes a tremendous amount of time away from your family, as well as an incredible skill set and knowledge to reach the goals and accomplishments the champions here are being recognized for tonight. Without question, the NHRA and its member tracks bring together the best racers in the world at the very best facilities in the ultimate test of competition. If you made it here, you made it to the top, and you have proven to have passed that test. Congratulations to each of you on a great season, and we hope you enjoy this evening. One more round of applause for all of our champions here tonight. In closing, I'd like to thank everyone for your participation in all of our series throughout 2019. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you again in 2020. Have a blessed holiday season, safe travels home, and enjoy your evening. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Well, at this time, I'd like to introduce the NHRA Summit ET Series champions, and to help me do that, Mr. Dennis Weiniger. Come on back up to the stage, sir.
Well, thanks, William. Good evening, everybody, once again. This wasn't supposed to be once again. This was one time and out. Wow. What a shocker. This year we celebrated the 43rd year for the NHRA Summit Racing Series North Central Division Finals. With 16 tracks and over 550 participants, the NHRA North Central Division Summit ET Finals maintains one of the largest car counts of the 7 divisions. We had 5 of our Track Announcer Guild members do announcing at that division final. And I'd like to recognize Nick Agresta, who's not here tonight, Ron Ruggles, who is here, Bill Larson, who's here, myself, and Carson Griffith. I don't think Carson made it tonight, but the interesting story about Carson was that when he came up to the tower on that Friday afternoon, he was not a member of the Track Announcers Guild, so Carson and I sat down, we talked about this and this and this and this, and I said, you know, there was a fee to get into this, and William was listening, and he said, I got it. So there's ever been a division director that said, hey, let me pay this, kids. So thanks, William. We'd like to thank the track operators and volunteers, Lucas Oil Raceway, and the Division III crew, and all of our thanks to the Summit Racing Equipment folks. We had Don Lauer with us in the tower from Summit, and he spent 3 days in the tower and on the ground watching the races, meeting racers, and in general having a good time. So it's really great to see those folks from Summit come out and go, oh, this is what we're doing. Yeah, cool. So nice to have him here at our track in Indianapolis. Part of the Summit ET Bracket Finals is enjoying the Team Spirit competition. ET Finals entrants pull out all the stops in an effort to win the much-coveted Team Spirit Award. You can see construction workers, safari animals, stormtroopers, and many other characters in between. This year, we even heard Bill Bader leading cheers from the grandstands. The amount of planning, effort, and passion shown by our member tracks and their competitors is undeniable. Your Team Spirit winner for the 2019 event was the Crossroads family from Crossroads Dragway. So Randy and Tammy, please join us on stage. Oh, there they come, okay. Traveling trophy was created by Cold Hard Art and was presented to this year's Team Spirit winner at the Summit ET Finals. It will be returned at the 2020 competition and travel home with the next winning team. A replica of the Traveling Team Spirit Award went to the folks down at Crossroads Dragway, and here they are.
Anybody got the theme? Anybody remember the theme from the Addams Family? Well, that's what we were this year. We have a lot of fun when we go to the ET Finals. It's our chance as operators to go and root for all of our team. It is a great time for us. You know, the rest of the time, as a track operator, you kind of got to keep your hands in your pockets as all of your favorite racers go down the track. But this time, we get to root for everybody, and that's what's so fun for us, to go to the ET Finals and have a great time. And I think that that's one of the best things. We don't always finish first, but we do finish best in a lot of different things, and we have a lot of fun doing it. So this is proof that all of our team really gets into it and has a great time, and so it's been fun. And one more time.
One more time.
Thank you.
Cool award, huh? Yeah. Congratulations, Randy and Tabby. I have some pictures on my phone. Would you like to? No. Any smart person would have already had them built into a thumb drive and put it up on the, to kick off honoring our 2019 Summit ET Finals champions, we'll start off with the class that is the start for many of our younger racers, the high school category. Please welcome to the stage, representing Beach Bend Raceway Park, your 2019 Division III Summit ET Series High School champion, Avery Duncan. Avery, come on up. For the 2019 Summit ET Finals, we changed things up a bit for the high school class. The eliminations were held on Saturday, which allowed all of the team members to support their high school participant. With a total of 16 competitors, the finals came down to Avery and Luke Albus of Worldwide Technology Raceway, formerly known as. The race came down to a 20 hundredths advantage, and at the quarter mile mark, the win light was on for Avery Duncan. Congratulations, Avery.
I'd just like to take a moment and thank my dad, my grandpa, giving me the opportunity to pursue the sport I love. Would also like to give a special thanks to Dallas Jones and Brock Porter for opening up the Junior Street program down at Beach Bend Raceway. Without that opportunity to compete in that, I wouldn't be up here with the high school championship. I would also like to thank the Klein family and Team Beach Bend, my mom and Reese, for all the support at the event. I never thought I'd have more fun on the return road listening to cowbells and whistles. I'd also like to thank Summit Racing and NHRA for putting on the event. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have the opportunity to stand here today. Thank you.
Congratulations, Avery. Our next category is Super Pro Motorcycle, or Super Pro Bike, if you will. The next category had 34 bikes, and they were on the property this year, and John Markham became a 2-year-in-a-row champion, and as he was the Division II Bike World Champion in 2018. Please welcome our 2019 Division III Summit ET Series Super Pro Bike Champion, John Markham. John? John was able to string together a path to the finals with a 004 light in the semifinals, and in the final round, the advantage would go to Tom Ewing, but after he broke out by 1/1000th of a second, John took the win light. Now, John was not able to attend the 2019 Summit ET Finals in Pomona, California, so in a show of true sportsmanship, he immediately notified Mike Kruger, the winner of the VP Racing Fuels Race of Champions, so that he could make that trip to race in Pomona. So congratulations, John, and good sportsmanship. Congratulations.
Yeah, I'd just like to thank a couple people there. First of all, God, and my lovely wife, and NHRA, and the Summit. The program that Summit puts together for us little guys to be able to go to Pomona is awesome. Like you said, I got to go to Pomona last year. I won Division II last year, went all the way out to Pomona and won, and it was a trip of a lifetime. I've chased that trophy for 20 years, and who would ever thought I'd win it back to back? So I'll just give all the glory to God. And I also like to thank Dallas and Alfreda Jones at Beach Bend. They allowed me to run for Division III, which is their track this year, and couldn't go to Pomona because my son got married, but it's great. I got him on the way, and I inherited a great daughter-in-law. So, thanks to my sponsors, Millennium Trailers and Ray Mancini Extreme Motorsports, and I'd like to congratulate all the champions here tonight, and looking forward to 2020.
And congratulations, John. Our sportsman category. The sportsman class features everything from all-out race cars to your everyday daily driver with 133 entries, including the 2018 champion, Brian Hendrickson. This was not going to be a walk in the park for any of the competitors. At this time, please welcome our 2019 Summit Sportsman Champion, Travis Booth, to the stage. Travis? With a family that has deep roots in the sport, the level of talent was evident when Travis Booth had a 001 light in the opening round. Once he found his groove in eliminations, he would line up in the final round alongside Daniel Beach from Milan Dragway. After overcoming a 0.003 of a second deficit on the starting line and surviving a double breakout, the lifelong dream of becoming a champion had been achieved. Your 2019 Summit Sportsman Champion from Coles County Dragway, Travis Booth. Travis?
Yeah, it's still hard to believe that happened. I gotta thank a lot of people here, actually. Mom and Dad, couldn't have got to California without them. Could not have done anything that I do in bracket racing without them. They've done everything for me growing up and still do everything for me, so thank you guys. My girlfriend, Jessica, she supports me, puts up with me going every weekend, spending money, doing all the stupid stuff we do, having fun. My brother, Ellis, him and Blake, Hooper, those two helped me keep my head on straight, helped me actually focus instead of freaking out up there, especially in the late rounds. I need to thank my grandma, Uncle Rick, the rest of my family, everyone who supports me, comes out, helps me out. Jacob Murphy and Time Slip Charts, they joined on for a sponsorship this year. It was very, very helpful and really appreciated it. Luke, Kevin, and Justin at This Is Bracket Racing Elite, you guys always help me in any problems I have. Coles County Dragway, Rod, all the staff. Sorry, not real good at speeches. They all were there late in the rounds, supporting me, and then Don Lowry and everybody at Summit, and also Warren Evans for everything he did and Drag Racer TV. So thank you.
And congratulations, Travis. Good job. Our pro category. We'll take a look at our class winner this year. That we had 179 pro class participants line up for the first round of eliminations. This category ended up being our largest and most competitive class contested over the weekend. Turning on the final win lights, the pro class for 2019 representing Killcare Raceway. Please welcome our 2019 Division III ET Series Pro Champion, Joe Barney. Excuse me, Joe, come on up. As mentioned, the 2019 Pro Class was a bit of a shark tank to most, but not for Joe. He remained steady during eliminations, and in the final round, he held a 009 advantage at the starting line, chasing down Owen Hoover of Summit. Joe, congratulations.
Okay, thank you very much. I got a lot of people to thank here, so I want to first of all thank NHRA for all they do for us, and I also want to thank Summit for all their support of the ET Bracket Racer. Definitely got to thank my lovely wife for all the support she does for me. Without her, Lord knows I'd be lost. She tells me this all the time when she says, "Babe, what would you do without me?" She's right. I'd also like to thank my wonderful daughter. She follows us to the racetrack and helps with whatever she can to do to make things go better for me. She likes to help. So I love her for that. I'd also want to thank Dean and Amber McIlvain, Chris and Charlie Wheatcraft, and the Sturgills for helping me get my truck out to Pomona, because without them, that wouldn't even have been possible. So thank them for that. I'd also like to thank Killcare and the staff at Killcare and all my friends and family, because without them, none of this would be possible. I also have to thank my sponsors, Door Slammers 2.0 Drag Racing Game, Parsons Hook Road Body Shop and Towing, JB's Tire and Auto Fabrication, and Extreme Racing Oil. I appreciate all their help and look forward to 2020. Congrats to all the winners. Thank you.
Congratulations, Joe. It does take a lot of effort to go places like from here to Pomona. Makes you appreciate all the help that you do get throughout the year. Our final class of the 2019 Summit ET Finals is our Super Pro class. We had 175 entries for round one, and just like the Pro class, this was not going to be one of those easy round adventures for anyone. With the 001 light in the quarterfinals, Jay Allen set up for a 2-for-1 into the finals. Please welcome to the stage, representing Route 66 Raceway, our 2019 Division III Summit ET Series Super Pro Champion, Jay Allen. By holding the advantage of 30 hundredths down track, Jay was able to punch his ticket for the trip to Pomona. Jay found success while at the Summit ET World Finals in Pomona and brought home a semifinal finish for 2019. I'm sure Jay will be on a mission for 2020 for another trip to California to take the World Championship title. Congratulations, Jay. Good job.
I've been doing this for over 40 years, and this was truly an honor to win the divisional and make it out there to Pomona. I'd like to thank Pete and Al for putting up with me on the 38-hour drive out there and back. My wife of 26 years has been very helpful throughout it. She didn't know much about racing when I met her, and now we build our motors together and we maintain all phases of the race car. My father passed away in 2003, but he got to see one of my track championships, and I know he was watching down when I won the division and on my trip to Pomona. Especially thanks to Will from NHRA and Summit Racing for supporting this series, and I look forward to 2020 at the new Summit Motorsports Park, the new venue. Thank you.
One of the highlights of the Summit ET Finals is the VP Race of Champions. We would like to acknowledge this year's Race of Champions winners. In Super Pro, Michael Sturgill from Kilcare Raceway. Okay, I thought they might appear on the screen. Pro ET, that would be Brian Cerruti. Super Pro bracket and the motorcycles was Mike Kruger, and in Sports Summit it was Cordy Balcom. So congratulations to those 4 folks. And when Michael Sturgill won the Race of Champions, that was more than just a win. Getting a trophy and everything else that went along with it. That got him the trip to Pomona because that was the wild card entry. Why is that important? Hang on. For the second year in a row, the North Central Division certainly has shown why we truly are a land of the winners. In 2018, Brian Hendrickson was able to bring home the Sportsman World Championship, and in 2019, we would send the Super Pro wildcard entry, Michael Sturgill, out to claim a championship that eluded him just 1 year prior to that. Sturgill was not only the defending 2018 Division III Super Pro champion, but also the 2019 Race of Champions winner. With the experience fresh in his mind from a 2018 at the World Finals, Michael would not be coming home without the World Championship. So at this time, I'd like to invite your 2019 Summit ET Series Super Pro World Champion to the stage, representing Kilcare Raceway, Michael Sturgill. Michael, come on up.
I've been up here for a while. Super. Congratulations. Thanks.
After an awesome season in 2018, which put me in contention to run for a national championship, a disheartening 1,000 red light ended that chapter. After that 1,000 red light, I told everyone with me in Pomona that one race wasn't going to take away from what we have accomplished all year. I told my family and friends to look around and said we will be back. I don't know when, but we will be back. Making it to Pomona to have the opportunity is a hard enough task in itself. 2019 D3 Super Pro was chosen as the wild card from the chip draw at Norwalk. When I found this out, I set out to try and have 2 chances rolling into the bracket finals in Indy. On the first pass of the weekend, we broke a rocker arm bolt and cylinder in the cylinder head and bent the one-piece rocker bar. We spent most of the day Thursday getting parts to fix what had broke. Luckily enough, we fixed it and we're ready for the Race of Champions race on Friday. We were fortunate enough to come out victorious and punched our ticket to Pomona for another chance at a national championship back-to-back years. We stayed positive, focused, and executed to be fortunate enough to win the 2019 Super Pro National Championship, and the rest is history. You may have heard me say we a lot during this time. It's because I couldn't accomplish this without my awesome parents, loving girlfriend, and McElvain Race Cars, Performance Clinic, FTI, Mosier Engineering, Kilcare Dragway, Wiseco, RB Designs, Cage Insanity, and Southland Flooring Supplies. Hope to see most of you guys in 2020.
And congratulations, Michael. Along with the individual competition, an overall team championship was determined. A single point is awarded to each round win by participants in each of our participating tracks. Tying for second were Summit Motorsports Park and Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway, each with 50 points, and winning the team championship with 55 points was Route 66 Raceway. Please welcome Sam Martin, Charlie Lindsay. Come on up here and pick up all the cool stuff.
Can't say how proud I am to be up here picking up this wonderful award on behalf of our racers at Route 66 Raceway. I've said it since the very beginning. My first arrival here 5 years ago of how wonderful the competition is. Hard, fierce, great racers. And I've got to say thank you to the racers who are here. Jay Allen, I know you're here. As you helped lead our team to this championship. Congratulations. Also, got to say thank you to everybody at Summit Raceway, or Summit Racing Equipment. Thank you for your support of this series. Got to help these guys. Jay, we also sent Mike Kruger as they took the road to Pomona. It was an absolutely awesome trip from what I understand for those guys. And got to say thank you once again to all the staff at Route 66 Raceway and to the NHRA Division III staff. Thank you for an awesome event. Will, thank you for your leadership as we had this wonderful event, and look forward to our first year at Summit Raceway for this event next year. Thank you.
Special thanks to Summit Racing Equipment for their support of this great series. The tracks met yesterday to map out the 44th Annual North Central Division Summit ET Finals, which will be held in September 2020 at Summit Motorsports Park. At this time, we would like to present the North Central Division ET Driver of the Year as voted for online. And I bet these are going to come up on the screen. The nominees for the ET Bracket Driver of the Year are Jay Allen, Route 66 Raceway. It's in a real small font, okay? Travis Booth from Coles County Dragway. Travis, right over there. And Michael Sturgill from Killcare Raceway. Do I get to read the winner? Yes. Cool. Always wanted to do that. And the winner is Michael Sturgill from Killcare Raceway. ET Driver of the Year. Holy cow. Nobody wants to race him anymore.
Well, since I just threw everything I had 5 minutes ago, once again, thanks to everybody that helps me. Special thanks, Mom, Dad, Dennis, Bev. Without them, well, technically without Grandpa starting in the 70s, but without them and their support, I wouldn't be here. Definitely my girlfriend for putting up with me being in the garage all the time, and all the great companies that help support me and my racing program and provide me with the best equipment available. Thanks.
As we enter the Lucas Oil Series portion of our awards ceremony, I'd like to introduce you to the guy who's going to lead us through that. And I first met Bob Unkefer on the deck of Heartland Park Topeka way back when they opened it up for the very first time. And he says, "I'm Bob Unkefer." I said, "Oh, okay. I'm Dennis Weiniger." So since that time, Bob Unkefer is one of the few Track Announcer Guild members who has gone on to win a national event. The other people were not me, I guarantee you that. I've never won a round any place. So put your hands together and welcome the guy who said there's going to be some fluff in this one. I don't know what that means. Bob Unkefer, everybody.
Fluff. What the heck is fluff? First off, y'all have been sitting for a while. I want everybody in here who is a driver to raise your hand. Okay? Those of you who do not have your hand raised, stand up for a minute, because the guys and gals that drive, they're used to sitting on seats with not much padding in them. Now, seriously, everybody, take a minute, stand up, stretch just a little bit. You guys have been sitting for a while. Take a deep breath. Get ready for round number one, because we're going to rock and roll. We're going to have some fun.
All right, no jumping jacks back there. No, we're not doing exercise. All right. Hi, everybody, welcome. It is that time of the evening. It is time to get into our Lucas Oil presentations. For all of our Lucas Oil winners and all of the guys who compete on the Division III Land of the Winners Championship Chase. We're going to start off, though, and first recognize our JEGS All-Star competitors. Thanks to the boys at JEGS and ladies at JEGS, they put on a tremendous show every year in Joliet, Illinois, the JEGS All-Star event. And I got to tell you, it is a very prestigious event. You all know that. To earn that berth, to make that way to the JEGS All-Star race is one of the crowning achievements for every driver out there. This year, we would like to recognize those of our team that made the JEGS All-Star race. In Top Alcohol Dragster, we are represented by Robin Samsel and Jared Dreher. And if you're here, please stand. In Top Alcohol Funny Car, represented by Ray Drew and Chris Foster. Our Comp Eliminator competitor was Troy Galbraith. Super Stock, represented by Jeff Dona. Stock Eliminator, Mr. Ryan Rudrick. Super Comp by the reigning champ, Devin Eisenhower. Super Gas was represented by Pat Martin. Super Street by Rocky Van Note. Our Super Street blocker was Phil Smida. Top Sportsman, Kynan Dinkle. And Lester Johnson was in as our blocker. And in Top Dragster, it was young Mr. Zach Sackman. But at this point in time, we'd like to have our 2019 All-Star champions join us on stage right now. And if you would, please, Kynan Dinkle, Jeff Dona, and Ray Drew. Come on up, gentlemen. They survived 3 rounds of competition to make it to the final round and take home the championship. At Alcohol Funny Car, Ray Drew ran our other representative, Chris Foster. In Top Sportsman, Kynan raced our other representative, Lester Johnson. And in Super Stock, Jeff Dona took out one very strong up-and-coming driver, a gentleman by the name of Aaron Stanfield. But these are our 2019 Division III JEGS All-Star champions. Gentlemen.
Didn't prepare speech, and I guess I didn't follow the proper attire either. I had a hat on, ran out to the truck and combed my hair. So, first off, I'd like to thank, first of all, NHRA and JEGS for putting this on. Couldn't do it without you two. As just a this is the first race I've ever won in Top Sportsman, period. No divisionals, nothing since we started. So it was shocking to go into, I do believe, National Trail, the beginning of the year, and knowing we were in the running for a representative spot. And then at the end of that race being the representative, and then having an awesome day. Hats off to Lester in the final round. Had me scared, bud. But I'd like to thank my family, my father, mom, couldn't be here, hurt ankle, and Power, Oakley Motorsports, Transmissions, Rossler, and APD and Vortec for the fuel system. And if I forgot you, sorry.
And while they get their photograph taken, we'll invite Mr. Ray Drew, our Alcohol Funny Car champion, see if he has a few words.
Thank you. Well, thank you, especially for JEGS for putting on that all-star race. I mean, a race within a race it's a lot of fun. A lot of stiff competition comes out, and the best of the best are there for you to compete against. And you got to bring your A game. And for me to accomplish that win was a bucket list item, and it was a lot of fun. So thank you, JEGS, for all that glory. Appreciate it.
The Jags All-Stars, as Ray said, a race within a race. Well, we did another race within a race this year. And a tip of the cap to our good friends at Mosier Engineering for their support of the Mosier Shootout. We're our top 2 competitors in each of our categories: stock, super comp, super gas, super street, top sportsman, top dragster. They all get a run at it, along with a couple of wild cards on a special 8th mile race that took place this year in Bowling Green. The finals came down to Allison Prose and Danny Waddle Jr. Young Allison succumbed to Danny's final round run, and I'd like to say congratulations to Danny Waddle on his Mosier Shootout Championship. Danny couldn't be with us tonight, so congratulations to him. Our online voting determined our next winner. The nominees for the North Central Division Lucas Oil Sportsman Mechanic of the Year. The nominees were Justin Beaver. You can applaud. Phil Oakley. And George Smith. And ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I'd like to invite our Division III North Central Lucas Oil Sportsman Mechanic of the Year, Mr. Phil Oakley.
Thank you. I really wasn't expecting that. The group of nominees this year is pretty strong, and I've been nominated for this award a few times, and it's an honor just to be nominated. I feel like part of it is what we do with our customer base and how we try to represent our customers, and the big thing this year was my son being able to pull off the Jags super quick. Me and him have kind of a thing that none of us want to, if we're a parent and our children are racing, we never want to feel like we let them down. We try to give them the best we can give them to compete. And my thing to my son is I'm always betting on you. So thank you all very much, and proud and honored, really honored to get this award.
Our next special category, as voted on by you all, the racers here in Division III, was our Driver of the Year. And in that competition, we were divided into 2 separate categories. The Superclass balloting included those drivers in Super Comp, Super Gas, and Super Street. And the 2019 North Central Lucas Oil Class Driver of the Year final nominees were Jeremy Mason, Phil Smida, and Mark Smith. Your Super Class Driver of the Year for 2019, Mr. Jeremy Mason.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting this, so I didn't prepare anything, but, it's kind of icing on the cake with the year I had, wrapping it up, the national championship and the divisional championship. I'd like to thank my parents, my wife, my new baby girl who's, I think, asleep in the back. And shh. And just everybody who supports me in general. Thanks to everybody.
All other Sportsman Driver of the Year for the categories in comp, super stock, top sportsman, and top dragster, the final 3 nominees for the North Central Sportsman Driver of the Year were Mike Coughlin, Ken Friedman, and Danny Nelson. And ladies and gentlemen, your Sportsman Driver of the Year in comp, super stock, sportsman, and dragster, Mr. Danny Nelson.
I really appreciate it. I wasn't expecting this for sure. I voted for Mike, but it's a real honor, and I don't have any kind of a speech, for this, but it's just being nominated for it means a lot to anyone that gets nominated for it. I really appreciate everyone's vote, and we had a great time at the banquet in Hollywood. Talk a little bit about that later, but I appreciate it. Thank you.
The final nominees as voted on by you all, the racers, for our Pro Sportsman Mechanic of the Year. The final 3 nominees were Dave Harada, Adrian Long, and Randy Meyer. Our Pro Sportsman Mechanic of the Year, Mr. Randy Meyer. Accepting for Randy, Adrian Long coming up. Do want to let everybody know Randy and Megan could not be with us this weekend. On Tuesday, there was a very nasty fatality accident in Kansas City as they were on their way to the airport. It caught Megan's brand new Honda. They took her by ambulance to the hospital. She thought her arm was broken. She is fine. She is sore and mending. Randy, likewise, the driver that was killed in the accident, unfortunately, his van flipped into Megan's brand new Honda. Condolences to his family, but Randy and Megan couldn't be here tonight to celebrate with us, or Randy couldn't be here tonight to accept his award. Those of you may have heard something. I just wanted to help set this record straight because I live in Kansas City, and trust me, it was all over the news. But like I said, Randy and Megan are definitely okay. Our driver of the year, our Pro Mechanic of the Year.
First and foremost, I know what Randy would want to say is none of this is possible without the guys and girls sitting at these 2 tables right here. We can do as much as we want, we can try as hard as we want, but we're nothing without the people that are behind us. So this award is just as much your guys's, if not more, than Randy's or anyone else's. You guys deserve this, and I hope you guys enjoy tonight because it's all about you. Thank you.
And our final special award in this group, the nominees for the North Central Division Lucas Oil Pro Sportsman Driver of the Year. The final 3 contestants were Ray Drew, Julie Natas, and Will Smith. And your Pro Sportsman Driver of the Year is Julie Natas. Julie?
Well, thank you. I will be up here later and hold my speech, but I'm the driver of the year because of these guys right here. And thank you all for voting for me. Thank you.
Here in the land of Division III, the land of the winners, we run a very special class as part of our Lucas Oil drag racing program. And at this point in time, we'd like to recognize that class that for many years has been a part of our North Central Division competition. These racers take a different approach than the ordinary. The concept seems very, very simple. Put small wheels on a ski, put a smooth belt underneath the back of it, and see what happens as you hustle down track at 150 miles an hour on a snowmobile. Our pro stock snowmobile category is second to none. They compete at many of our events on the Lucas Oil Trail. In 2019, the competitors had the chance to compete for a Wally this year, and one rider put on a great season, although he did have a tremendous challenge from a fellow competitor. His wins this year, with 2 wins and a runner-up, were able to hold off his competitor who also had 2 wins, and back for a second Division III championship in pro stock snowmobile. Ladies and gentlemen, if you would, welcome to the stage with me, Mr. Ron Bray. Ron? By the way, there's no way in God's green earth I'd get on one of those things for a ride.
I just want to say thank you very much to my family who support me through this whole effort. It's a little crazy. My wife, Stacy, daughter, Shelby, and Jade. Thank you for supporting me in this. It's an honor to be here. I want to thank Will and the staff at NHRA. They do a great job. I want to thank the Safety Safari crew. I know our family appreciates them being there. And the Racer for Christ, who blessed me every time I go down the track. So I think that's what helped with all the winning. But along with that, I want to thank my sponsors, Hypersports and Proline Performance. And it's an honor to be here, and we appreciate the opportunity to participate at these great member tracks. Thank you very much.
At this point in time, I'd like to ask Philip Oakley to join me back up on stage. Philip, if you would, please come on back up, because we're going to roll into our top dragster presentation now. Oakley Motorsports are sponsor of the Division III Top Dragster and Top Sportsman Series. Top Dragster racing here at the North Central Division, the quickest and fastest in the country. And in 2019, that didn't disappoint. They kept on coming and kept on coming with the quickest fields ever. Our top dragster, top 5 finalists, and if you're here, please come on up and join us on the stage. In 5th place, Mr. Joe Fisher out of RacingRVs.com. Our 4th place finisher, John Biaggi Jr. 3rd place, J.B. Straswig. 2nd place, I know he's here, Danny Nelson. And your 2019 top dragster champion, Mr. Mike Coughlin. Mike did it with wins at Indy, at Joliet, and going late rounds, making the tow all the way to Sonoma, California for the doubleheader out there. We went late rounds on both.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob, and welcome everybody tonight. Appreciate being here. These division championships and titles are hard to get, so it's been a while since I've been here. But anyways, I'd like to start off thanking God for the, the opportunity to giving us life and letting us do what we love to do and live in the greatest country in the world. So I also want to thank my dad and my mom for giving us the opportunity, again, to do what we love to do, and my entire family. Which includes, of course, my brothers John, Troy, and Jake Jr. and their families. My wife Chris is here tonight with my son Jack Coughlin and Clay Coughlin. I'd like to say congratulations to Troy Jr. and Paige Coughlin for their efforts this year. I'd like to say congratulations to the other Division III champions. Also to the national champions from Division III, Danny Nelson, Jeremy Mason, and Megan Meyer and the Randy Meyer group, also with Julie Natatis. Great job, guys. Thanks to Mr. Will Tharp, Rich Bowers, Joe Lease, and the entire Division III staff, and the Division III Safety Safari folks that always make me, I know, feel comfortable every time I go down the racetrack. I really feel comfortable. So thank you. Thanks to the National Dragster folks, the Races for Christ folks, does not go unnoticed. Warren from Drag Racer TV, thank you. Dan Page, Race Cars, who built my dragster, a great piece, just absolutely love it. Eric at Proline, Jeff Fowler, Fowler Engines for the supercharger and injector system. Also would like to thank Mr. Philip Oakley for sponsoring the class, thank you, and Top Sportsman. Ryan Mickey and Blake Gover from ComSync EFI and Data Acquisition. Mark Mickey from M&M Transmissions and Converters, thank you. Also, of course, the folks that helped me out quite a bit at the races and during the weeks at our place at Jegs. Without them, obviously, I couldn't be here, we couldn't be here. So to my crew chief, Greg Cody, my crew members, Tony Collier, Tracy Newman, Michael and Dave Rourke, Ryan Mickey, Justin Beaver, Mike Reese, and Kyle Pettis from the shop. Also, Mr. Jeff Taylor is here. Thank you, Jeff. Scott Woodruff, for all you do for us. You help paint the world yellow and black, and we appreciate that. So thanks to all you here tonight. God bless, and we've got some really cool stuff coming for 2020. We're looking forward to it, and thank you.
While we have Danny up on stage, would like to take a minute. He's already alluded to it, Mike alluded to it, but we need a big round of applause for our RacingRVs.com top dragster, national champion. He did it. He got hot. Bowling Green, St. Louis, the Jegs race, Norwalk, went rounds, won races. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, if you would, please, for Danny Nelson, RacingRVs.com top dragster, national champion.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Yeah, the World Championship deal was really a lot of fun. It kind of came unsuspecting to me, and I know it did to a lot of other people also. Been struggling a little bit, struggled a little bit the first of the year, early in the year. Found out that I had cataracts in my eyes, and it just kept getting worse. So after the Indianapolis points race, I decided to go ahead and try to get it fixed. So I left Indy and went home instead of going to the Chicago divisional race. And that following Monday, I had my right eye fixed. And that really turned things around. I mean, it was go to the finish line a lot better. And a lot of our mutual friends, a guy that's friends of a lot of ours, David Rampy, he's going through the same thing right now. And I've been trying to talk him and Kelly into getting it done. Because I was right at the point of quitting, and so I'm really, really glad I had it done. I'd like to thank Will and the whole D3 staff, Kenny, Joe, Brad, everybody in D3. I've raced Division 2, 3, and 5, and they're all great people also, but I really enjoy racing in D3. It's meant a lot to me. Thanks to Sarah Walker, our new sportsman rep from NHRA. She was at the banquet and guided all of us through something that we'd never been through, and it was amazing. I'd like to say congratulations to Mike and his crew, Team Jegs. They done a great job. And all the national and divisional champions. There's been a lot of them in Division 3, and there's going to be a lot more. Greg Samuels, Paul Lee with FTI, Rob Moser at Moser Engineering and his crew, Hoosier Tire, Race Star Wheels, Advanced Products, Joe and John Kyle, Tim Brandon Performance, does my engines, Brodex, the Supercharger store, Chris and his crew are here. Appreciate them. And Lance with Vortex Superchargers was going to be here, and they didn't have their booth torn down at PRI, so he couldn't come. So there again, I really appreciate all that NHRA does for us. Thank you, Philip. Look forward to next year. Congratulations to everybody. Thank you.
You want some hardware? Much like Top Dragster, our NHRA Top Sportsman, Oakley Motorsports Series here in the North Central Division features some of the quickest and fastest fields in the country. Again, if you're in the audience this evening, as I call your name, if you would, come on up and join us on stage. Our top sportsmen, top 5 finishers. In 5th place, Justin Souders. In 4th place, Mr. Jerry Albert. Third place to Scott Wasco. 2nd place to Mr. Lester Johnson. But our 2019 Lucas Oil Top Sportsman, Oakley Motorsports Champion, Mr. Kurt Frederick. Kurt, come on up. Kurt did it the hard way this year. He won one, but just kept going rounds. And it got him the championship. And Kurt, congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all very much. I'm not good at this, so there's going to be a tough go here. When I started racing, winning something like this was the furthest thing from my mind. My buddies and I would put together whatever we could afford, which wasn't a lot, and race on our country roads. After 2 years of making my parents and the neighbors very angry, it was time to go to the racetrack. I started with a 12-second bracket car when I was 21 years old. That's when the competitor in me started to show. Always wanted bigger engines, faster cars. In 2002, we started racing Top Sportsman. We learned a lot of lessons the hard way, but we kept working at it. We won our first Top Sportsman race in 2004 at T, South Dakota. When I held that first Ironman, it was such a feeling of accomplishment. And here Leanne and I are receiving our first NHRA Division Championship. I asked myself, why am I standing here today? I don't feel we are any better than any others. I don't feel we are better than the other 50-plus racers that we compete with. We work hard, come to the racetrack prepared, just like everyone else. As I look back through this season, there were a couple of lucky round wins that made the difference. The luckiest thing that happened to me is Leanne. Without her passion and drive, we could not compete at this level, and you all know that. Thank you. Thank you also to Lucas Oil and the Coughlin family for what they do. I don't think you can put a value on how much they do for the drag racing and motorsports community. Philip Oakley and Oakley Motorsports, thank you so much for your commitment to Top Sportsman, Top Dragster, and all other motorsports. Definitely Bob Mandel and the ProFab boys, they take very good care of me. Good race car, good motors, anything else I need. Vince Nannini, fellow racer from VRN. All the little stuff, we have a lot of fun. And Mike Clark from Bi-Ride Auto Parts in Racine, Wisconsin, helps me out with everything he can. The 2020 season will be here shortly, and we're excited to get it going. Thank you.
While they're getting their picture taken, I would like to invite Mr. Dwayne LaFleur to the stage to help present a portion of over $500,000 total year-end payout that Lucas Oil provides for our top finishers in national, regional, and divisional competition. Dwayne's going to be on stage to help with Will and Kevin to present our Lucas Oil Championship Awards, and we'll give him an opportunity towards the end of the evening to share some wisdom with us. The first of our Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series categories, Super Street. Our 1090 competitors come at it hard. This year, our top 5 finishers, and again, if you're here, please join us on stage. In 5th place, Mr. Denny Napier. In 4th place, Nick Vogelsang. Our 3rd place finisher, young Allison Prose. Our 2nd place finisher, Mark Smith. But your 2019 Super Street champion, a gentleman who's been on the stage before, Mr. Phil Spida. Phil? Phil ventured down to Rockingham, North Carolina this year to put an exclamation point on his 2019 season and be able to stand up on stage tonight. It also went well with his Wally from Norwalk.
Man, this definitely feels like first round. First, I would like to congratulate all the 2019 champions. It's an honor to be up on this stage with you guys tonight. Thank you to Lucas Oil, all the Division III staff, Warren Evans at Drag Racer TV. I can't tell you how many times I probably got caught at work watching. And Racers for Christ. Jill and Hugh, the one thing I won't forget is that time in Chicago, our motorhome broke down. You guys offered to take my dad an hour away to go pick up a part that we weren't sure was going to work or not. So we appreciate that very much. And then on top of that, a good friend of mine that's here, I don't know where he's sitting at, Danny Estep. There you are. I had to call him because I told him when I opened the box, it seemed like I just ordered something from IKEA. And he's like, well, do you want me to come down? I said, no, that's okay. He's like, no, I will. Well, how far are you away? 3 or 4 hours. Okay, great. So he shows up, takes us about a half hour to put that in. I can't thank you enough for doing that. For the last 21 years, I've been fortunate to be behind the wheel of a race car, thanks to my parents. A lot I've learned over the years. One of the biggest is winning a championship is pretty hard. And that is with the level of competition. As you see some of the Super Street racers that are here behind me, those are the ones you do not want to pull in the lanes against. Throughout the year, there's times that we have our good moments, have our bad moments. We came out pretty good the start of the year, and then all of a sudden we just kind of fell off. So I took a step back, wondered what I was doing wrong. Was it mentally? Was it the car? I haven't got to the point where I thought about doing yoga classes. But anyhow, this year there were several tiebreakers in almost every category, and many times it comes down to the last race. And then when that challenge lies ahead, you have to be perfect almost every single time. And that, as a driver, is what we live for. But it's not always about the driver, but it's about the people that stand behind us that are in the back of the scenes that we really don't give thanks to very much. And as a result, it is a direct reflection of guidance and help and support that we get. Guys like Joe Hessling and John Kyle at APD that provide a winning combination for both my cars. Marco Abruzzi at Abruzzi Racing Transmissions, Sunoco and Basil Race Fuels, Hoosier Tires, Kevin Kleinweber at Hughes Performance, Crew Chief Pro, JAGS. Thank you for the JAGS All-Stars program. Awesome. Am I past my 2 minutes? K&N, Cometa Gaskets, and most importantly, my parents. A year ago, I would tell you that I probably would not have been standing up there because of the stress that we went through for personal reasons. And to be able to turn around and kind of put that aside and to stand up here is truly amazing to me. And I give a lot of that to my parents for the time. You're my #1 supporters. Thank you so much. Without you guys, I would not be standing up here. I hope everyone has a great holiday, and we'll look forward to seeing you next year. Thank you.
Phil, that's all right. If you had brought me up a crown, we'd have just pretended it was iced tea. It's getting to be about that point anyway. Our next category for this evening is super gas. And again, as we always say, if you're in the house, please come and join us on stage. In super gas, our 5th place finisher, Mr. Alan Bush. 4th place went to Denny Napier. 3rd place to Tim Gillespie in his Roadster. Mike Drausick finished 2nd. And a gentleman who I consider to hit the trifecta this year, a divisional championship, a national championship, but most importantly, a beautiful new baby daughter. Ladies and gentlemen, with wins at Joliet and Bowling Green, Rockingham, a runner-up in Norwalk, a round of applause, if you would, please, for your divisional and national Super Gas champion, Mr. Jeremy Mason. Jeremy? Jeremy, you were holding there for a minute. Did you think I was going to call somebody else's name?
Pull up my actual speech here. Yeah, I started the year in the Chevy 2, and you know, I couldn't buy around. The first 2 races, I think, were like 1st and 2nd round losses, and in the dragster, I made it to the semis, and I'm actually was like, oh, well, it'll be a good year in the dragster, and it's kind of funny how the year plays out, I guess. I want to congratulate all the other champions. This is our night, so enjoy it. I also want to thank the NHRA for giving us a place to race, and Lucas Oil. Next is my family. My dad, basically I work, travel during the week. You know, he keeps it all together, works on the cars, works on the motorhome, does more than I could ever thank him for. My mom, she claims she's just the cook, but everyone knows she does more than that. My wife supports me in my busy work schedule and my race schedule. And, you know, also we have the #1 new baby girl in the back who I think she's still asleep. So let's, yeah, shh. Also have tons of friends and partners that help me out. Toby at Renegade, he was the first person to come on board with me way back in 2011. Scott and Stan at Ohio Crankshaft, they give me incredible power and consistent power. Angela and Marvin at ATM Innovation. Dean at McIlvain Race Cars. I'm a little partial, but I think he's given me the baddest super gas car in the nation. Kenny at PTC for all the transmission and converter help. Tim, Jeff, and everyone over at Mosier Engineering. And Rich at R&M Race Trailers. Thanks again, everybody.
Our next category this evening is Super Comp. And again, if you're here, please join us up on stage. Our fifth place finisher in our Super Comp battle throughout the 2019 season, Mr. Tony Elrod. Fourth place to Phil Smida. Third place went to Mr. Rick Hughes. Paige Coughlin finished second in the championship chase. But with wins at Joliet and a win in one of the largest field of Super Comp cars I've ever seen at Topeka, how about a round of applause for Mr. Luke Bogacki? Cool hand, Luke, come on up.
Thank you, Unc. Well, you never realize how many people are in a room until they're all looking at you. I want to start off thanking some of the people that we tend to take for granted, myself included. Thank you to the Division III staff, everyone working in the office. Thank you to the tech officials, the folks on the starting line, the safety officials, everybody in the tower, all of you track owners and operators, and all of your staffs for, I just know that the pay for all of those positions is not commensurate with the work that you put in at all. You do this for the same reasons that we do, because you love it. Thank you for providing us with a safe, fair, enjoyable, competitive environment to do what we love to do. On a personal level, thank you to my beautiful wife, Jessica, our two boys, Gary and Jack. This past season was the most fun I've ever had racing, and it's because we got to do it together as a family, and we got to do it on our terms. So thank you for being as passionate about this as I am. I know in most marriages, I guess all marriages, it's a little bit of give and take. In ours, it's by and large, my wife gives and I take. And she's just so selfish and selfless, and did I say that right? Selfless. Woo. And slip of the tongue there. But that extends into our racing. By and large, we do this together during the summer months when we can all go. But there was I set out on my own once in the spring and another trip in the fall, and she stayed home to man everything that has to happen at home and get Gary to school. And if the roles were reversed, there's no doubt in my mind that she would be the one standing right here accepting this award. When she got the opportunity behind the wheel, she got it done, and she's awesome. I want to thank the unsung hero behind our racing operation, Chris Eastep. He's here with us tonight. Chris handles everything at the shop. He does all of the maintenance, all of the upkeep on our entire racing operation. And as my business and family commitments have grown, there were literally times throughout the summer when we would pull in the driveway late Sunday night and we would leave again sometime Thursday afternoon, And in between, oftentimes I didn't hardly look at our race cars. And yet, when we went to the racetrack, I felt as confident as ever that I was rolling in with the best equipment available. And that is a testament to him, the work that he puts in, and the pride and the ownership that he takes of our operation. He treats it like it was his own. So thank you, Chris. And that car, I don't know if it was up on the screen, like that thing has made me look so much better than I am for 4 years now. And it's scary to think going into 2020 without it. We're changing gears a little bit and going super gas racing, but I didn't often make that thing look as good as it is. And that's just a testament to every component, every decal that you see on the side of that car. Every part on that is there for one reason and one reason only, because I firmly believe that it is the best equipment money can buy. And things like this are a testament to that. Thank you to my staff and my team at thisisbracketracing.com. That's Ashley Thompson, Jordan Pratt, Jacob Murphy, Kevin Brannon, and Justin Lamb. Thank you for servicing our customers and growing our business even while I'm out playing race car. You guys are awesome. Thank you to all of the members of This Is Bracket Racing Elite for trusting me and challenging me to help you in your pursuit to become the best version of yourself on the racetrack, and in the process of that, challenging me to do the same myself. Last but not least, an honor like this wouldn't mean near as much if it wasn't for the awesomeness of the competitors in this room, and specifically in the Super Comp category. So to Paige, to Phil, to Rick Hughes, to the Fustings and the McIlvains and Jeremy Mason and everyone that competes in Super Comp. Thank you for your competitiveness, for your sportsmanship, your camaraderie. Thank you for just being awesome, because if you weren't, this wouldn't be near as special. Thank you.
Moving on, our next Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series category, Stock Eliminator. My favorite, for obvious reasons. Please come forward as we call your name if you're with us this evening. Our 5th place finisher, Mr. Chris Stevenson. Our 4th place finisher, Logan Galbraith. 3rd place went to Austin Alvey. 2nd place, James Cakel Jr. And with wins in Bowling Green, a runner-up in Columbus to start the season, and that final charge down in Rockingham, North Carolina to the final round. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 Stock Eliminator champion, Mr. Ken Friedman. Ken?
This has been an awesome year. I just want to thank my wife for being there every race, and for my dad having the car ready. Thank you.
Kenny Arata, you said it earlier. This sport is an addiction. It is. I'm thinking about building a stocker and getting back into this. Somebody slap me. Superstock, our next category to come up. We'd like to introduce our top 5 finalists in our Superstock category. 5th place, Mr. Joe Gallucci. 4th place, Jeff Dona. 3rd place went to Tyler Bohannon. 2nd place to Ricky Decker. But before I introduce our division champion, I want to share with you on the bus to PRI Thursday morning, there was a racer sitting behind me on the bus, and he was talking about our Superstock champion. And to me, he paid the ultimate compliment to our division champ. He said, you know, all them young whippersnappers out there that are challenging, that are going for it, that are working at it, and yet our champion this year, a gentleman who has got, let's say, a little age and a whole lot of experience, our division champ this year, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Irvin Johns. Irvin claimed the title at Bowling Green down in Gainesville early in the season. He claimed, went to the finals and was runner-up, but he stands on stage tonight, our division champ.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I guess y'all wonder why I've asked you together here tonight. Well, I wrote a 75-page speech, and Will said, you got 2 minutes. So I said, okay, I'm going to ditch it. That's a joke. Okay. All right. So I'm 75 years, 10 months, and 9 days old. So that's not bad. I'd like to thank God for the resources and the ability to race at my age. I want to thank my beautiful wife for being by my side at the races. She's my rock. She is with me in the lanes, helping me with everything. Reminds me to have fun. She says, you got this. Have fun, and I love you. After we won Bowling Green, I was 13 points out of the lead for the division and decided to chase the points. We were in the car discussing what races to attend. Gina told me, regardless, you're number one with me. I thought, wow, that takes all the pressure off. I love you, Gina. Special thanks to Gary France, Todd France, Jim Metcalf, also known as Jim Dandy, for the many hours they've spent at our race shop, working on our race cars, helping with our new race shop, and all the crew support at the races. We've been together 12 years and have had a great friendship with these guys. They are loaded with racing knowledge. Thanks to our newest guy, Bobby Howard, our newest member, adopted from Jerry Sylvia's. Whenever Gary is unavailable, he handles the duties of lineup, also helps me with everything from airing the tires, lending me ladders, climbing up on my motorhome, chasing battery chargers. Go Ohio State. Jeff and Patty Taylor, I cannot say enough. Jeff is my friend, my advisor, my engine builder, and has taught me how to drive. There's many times we've stopped at his shop just to de-stress from work. Patty and Gina are great friends, and Patty's there to take Gina away shopping when she gets bored at the track, as girls do. Jeff Taylor builds the best engines and helps us with the transmissions, gear changes, and more. This guy can do it all. Thank you, Jeff. I would be amiss if I failed to recognize Jeremy Duncan. He's a longtime friend, pest sprayer, general advisor. Second round, I called him from St. Louis and said, hey, I need some help. What do we do against this Tyler Kahele guy? We worked it out, and I put him away. Chuck and Joey Bohannon, you guys are the greatest. In 2016 at the Racers Party, you gave me the Charlie Bohannon Memorial Award. I was so surprised I was speechless, but I've since thought 1,000 times of what I would have said. Your dad, when I first met him, was amazing. I saw the '67 Camaro that you guys resurrected. I then saw all the cars he had built and hung out with him at the U.S. National. But the most impressive thing he built was you two boys. You guys are great. Thanks to all my employees at home who keep the company running while I'm out racing. Thanks to NHRA, D3 officials, announcers who work under trying conditions to complete events timely. Thanks to Fred Knorr, who writes dragscope.com. We appreciate your interest and support for the racing. Thanks to my growing family at home, some of my biggest fans. Last but not least, we'd like to say thanks to our Western family, Jim, Lorraine, Jimmy, Tony DeFrank with California Car Covers, Mike and Jane Braswell. We look forward to our annual visit to Vegas to spend time with you. I want to thank all my sponsors. This season has been so fun-filled and rewarding. Ever since 2003, when I started racing again, I won my 3rd divisional race. I entered. I thought, this ain't tough. Boy, was that an awakening. 13 years later, before I won another event, I won at Atlanta. Then 3 years from then, here I am looking at you, the D3 Superstock champ. Life is good, God is great, and D3 rocks.
Well, I said a moment ago that stock was my favorite category. That's only because I happened to win one. But I got lots of cars that I like out there and lots of categories that you all compete in. But if there's anything that tugs at my heartstrings more than anything else, it's Comp Eliminator. You've heard me say it on the PA, and I'll say it again. To me, Competition Eliminator is what Wally Parks envisioned many, many years ago when NHRA was founded. Put it together, build it, let's take it to a racetrack, race it safely, and see what happens. With the wide variety of cars and the excellent competition that goes on in Comp Eliminator, all I can say is you guys put on one hell of a show, and I enjoy being able to be there and watch. We'd like to invite Mr. Jay Hullinger and Mr. Drew Olson to come up on stage and join us for our special Division III awards presentation to our Competition Eliminator champion. But right now, I'd like to introduce our 5th place finisher, Mr. Greg Camplain. Our 4th place finisher, Mr. Ronnie Bone. Our 3rd place finisher, Mr. Jim Promozic Jr. 2nd place with the past division champ, Troy Galbraith. And this year with win at Indy and runner-up in St. Louis and Joliet, the little 32 Bantam with the half a V8. Your Comp Eliminator champ for 2019, Mr. Chad Vogus. Chad?
I'll keep this short. I'd like to thank Division III, the crew, the staff at the track prep guys, the tech guys. You do a great job, so thank you. Thank Lucas Oil for sponsoring the series. I'd like to thank the Comp Eliminator Bonus Fund sponsors who paid for the entry fees for all of us comp racers all season long. I'd like to thank Bob Unkefer for the great job that he does announcing for us. It took me a week to come up with a 2-minute speech, and this guy talks for days. And it's entertaining. I'd like to thank my wife and kids, Marcia, Andrew, and Kate, for the support that they give me to allow me to pursue this addiction. My mom and dad for all they've done for me the last 15 years that we've been racing comp. Jim Evans at RCE for his help with our engine program, Rick Allison at A&A Transmission, and Jason Cohen at Cohen Engineering. And, oh yeah, my brother Brent. Took over as crew chief for me this year, and lucky for me, he retired in the spring, and so he was able to spend more time with our team and really taking us to another level. So it's like having your own MacGyver at the track. He's amazing. Thank you.
Chad, as a tradition that was started back when NHRA celebrated its 50th anniversary, we looked through some events at the time and came across where they used to give out tool sets and spark plugs and different prizes, and one of the events gave out bowling balls, and I thought that would be a great item to give out to our Competition Eliminator champion. So you are the 15th recipient of a Division III bowling ball. Some guys have got pins, some guys have got 2 pins. You start out with a ball, and then each year you win, we'll add a pin to it. So the award is done by Olson Paint and Body. Brian started out the deal. He says, "You want me to paint a bowling ball?" And I said, "Yeah." And he says, "Great," you know. So they've been doing it every year. They decorate it out in the car colors. And so Drew presenting the bowling ball to Chad for 2019.
Chad, if you need somebody to hold that check for you, I'll be more than happy to take it. Help! In the North Central region, kind of a unique situation here in Division III. Not only do we have regional events at all of our division races, but we contest the alcohol dragster and alcohol funny car races at each and every event. And that doesn't happen at all of the other divisions across the country. They're divided, there's 4 regions in the country and 7 divisions, so obviously those numbers don't compute. But here in Division III, we're fortunate to be able to contest alcohol dragster and alcohol funny car all season long at each and every event. And it gets tough. We've seen some great competition this year. Dave Arata's car with Will Smith at the wheel riding out a huge wheel stand at, what was that, Norwalk when we started off the season. Unfortunately, Jared Dreher had the blowover at St. Louis. Ryan Howe dancing and skirting down the racetrack at St. Louis as well in his alcohol funny car. But the competition level here within the region, the North Central region, is phenomenal. I love being able to be a part of it. And as we get into our top 5 presentation, again, if you're here, come and join us on the stage. Our 5th place finisher in our North Central region top alcohol funny car competition, Mr. Chip Beverett. Lance Van Howen finished 4th in our regional championship chase. Tony Bogolo, once again a top 5 finisher, this year in 3rd place. Chris Foster out of the Quad Cities. I understand Chris couldn't be with us this evening. He was your 2nd place finisher. Oh, somebody lied to me. Gee. But how about your 2018 North Central Region top alcohol funny car champion with wins at Norwalk, Joliet, and Bowling Green, and numerous number 1 qualifying efforts. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause, Mr. Raymond Drew. Raymond?
Well, thank you. It's been quite an honor to achieve this. It's been a very long time for me trying to fight to win this championship. I failed miserably several times, placing 2nd, 3rd. Last year I was super mad. I missed it by 10 points. So I came out very determined this year to make sure that I had my program in order. In other words, I got my head out of my ass. So none of the success would really come to be without your crew, and I use various people throughout the year, but my core group is here. My girlfriend Lisa was her first year coming to the races. It was kind of an eye-opener, and thankfully she survived. Frank Parker, a longtime competitor and friend, and through a mishap with Andy Bull, he came onto the team and was quite helpful. And then there's Kyle Herrenberg, who I could never, he's my partner in crime. My best friend, I couldn't do it without him. I wouldn't think about doing without him. And he handles all the details that I feel miserably at, and there's a lot of them. And then we have to thank the NHRA and the staff and the crew for keeping us safe, Lucas Oil for this championship, and I'm ready to come out in 2020 and try to repeat. Thank you.
Anybody out there getting thirsty? Just about to that point. One more for me to go. Our final category for the evening on our Lucas Oil Drag Racing Series competition is our top alcohol dragster field. And again, if you're with us this evening, please come on up to the stage. Our fifth place finisher, Robin Samsel. Our fourth place finisher, Mr. Mick Steele. I saw Will Smith at the PRI show, and he said to send his condolences. He couldn't be with us this evening, but he was our third place finisher. Chris Dimke, your number 2 finisher in the championship chase. But your 2019 top alcohol dragster champion with wins at Columbus, a runner-up at Bowling Green, a win at the final race in St. Louis, an out-of-division win at Earlville. But ladies and gentlemen, your 2019 top alcohol dragster champion, Miss Julie Natas. Julie?
Well, I think most of you guys know by now, but I would just like to clarify this one more time. I'm from Norway, not Sweden, not America. And the last time I won a championship, it was the European Drag Racing Series in 2015, the year I also decided to move to California to study and become an NHRA drag racer. In 2017, Randy decided to take a chance on me, and I got my alcohol dragster license with him and the team. I'm grateful that Randy and his family decided to take a chance on me to let me be the third daughter and teach me all there is to know about racing. I'm so grateful for all these guys right here. They work their butt off both on and off the racetrack all year round so that we can go racing. I couldn't do it without you guys because you guys are my family now. My family are in Norway, so. Oh, and thank you for putting up with me whenever I'm complaining and I'm hungry. And thanks to Dots Pretzels and Menards. And if you still haven't tried the Dots Pretzels, I would recommend going to Menards tomorrow. And last but not least, my best friend, my dad. He's not here tonight because it's a little bit of a long flight to come out here for the night. But I know he's supporting me no matter where I am or what I'm doing, so I'd just like to say thank you.
Well, we're almost done. got a few things to wrap up, take care of. I'd like to invite Dwayne LaFleur, our Lucas Oil national marketer. What is your official title these days?
Business Development High Performance.
Business Development High Performance. Guys and gals, Lucas Oil makes this possible. Thanks to Dwayne and Forrest and Charlotte Lucas, Morgan Lucas. They put a lot of effort and a lot of money into our ability to compete on the divisional and regional level. If you're not a Lucas Oil user, please do so. That comes from me because you see the return on the investment that we get from our sponsors. Dwayne's here. He's been helping present our trophies. I'd like to invite him up to say a few words to finish out our Lucas Oil presentation. Dwayne?
Thank you. On behalf of everybody at Lucas Oil, we want to congratulate all the 2019 Lucas Oil Drag Race Series champions this year. We know how much effort it takes, a lot of work, a lot of time. We also want to thank everybody for supporting Lucas Oil. There's a lot of you folks out there. We know you have a lot of options. We really appreciate everybody using Lucas, buying Lucas, and supporting us. Just want to let everybody know, in 2019, we made a small change to our program out in the Midway. We didn't have anybody out there supporting at national events. We learned that that probably wasn't the best move. So moving forward in 2020, we will have somebody at every single NHRA national event out there selling our products, signing people up for the contingency program, as well as every single divisional event, 1 through 7. So we appreciate everybody signing up in 19. We hope everybody signs up in 20. Enjoy giving the money back to you folks. Thank you very much. Happy holidays, and have a great evening.
Before I turn it over to Will and let him close out the evening, I want to say congratulations to our Hall of Fame inductees tonight, and especially my fellow addict, Mr. Ken Arata. I agree with him completely. Bowling is a sport, drag racing is an addiction. But after 33 years of being up here or being involved with the sport, I can't say anything more than I love y'all. You all are my family, and appreciate the opportunity to be a part of your family. To my fellow announcer, Mr. Dennis Weiniger, I want to say congratulations on the Leo Tower Award. Having known Leo for many a year, having worked with Leo on the national event level, having worked with Dennis, a very, very special award to a very special person on behalf of a super special person. I want to thank Nick Agresta, who wrote the letter that Will read, to induct Dennis into the Hall of Fame. Nick was our Leo Tower winner last year, and a special tip of the cap to Nick, who couldn't be with us this evening, but a very heartfelt letter to bring Dennis in. After that, I want to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Hanukkah, whatever the situation might be for you. God bless you all for the holidays. 2020 and the race season is going to be getting started before you know it. I'll be looking forward to seeing everybody real soon. Thanks, everybody. I'm going to turn it over to Will for his closing comments. We'll see you at the bar right down the road.
Well, you can tell he was using his own script because we're still back on way back there on a lot of other things. So we'll get to that point. I will say right now I did miss over on a few of you with your checks and other things that are up here, so I'll own that mistake as well. So come up and see me afterwards as we're going to get things closed out. Also keep in mind the Lucas Oil champions, please come up and see us, as well as the Summit ET Series, and if the Junior Dragster Series champions are here, we need to do some group photos up here to wrap up the night. But this is tonight's 52nd Annual Awards Banquet is officially closing out the 2019 season and kicks off the 2020 race season here in the Land of the Winners. I'd like to remind the Lucas Oil and the Summit Racing Series to come on up, as I said. Once again, we'd like to thank our sponsors, our crew, and everybody else that's involved with what we do here each and every season and each every year that you've supported us. Would also like to invite you across the hall. So we got the winners party going on, as long as a practice re-race as well. Should be a great time for everybody. Keep in mind, we're a mere 152 days till we actually go testing and tuning at Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio. It's 152 days. I counted it, and I even had Nisa check it because I don't really count very well. As the 2020 racing season is just around the corner, we wish you a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year to all. Please drive safely. Good night, everyone, and thank you for being here.